This week, the Trump administration is focused on attacking gay seniors. Multiple cases are heading to the Supreme Court that will affect queer people's ability to work and do business, and crackdowns on homosexuality continue to escalate around the world. We'll have all that, plus actions you can take on Weekly Debrief. The Department of Health and Human Services just eliminated a rule that prohibited retirement facilities from discriminating against elderly same-sex spouses. The Obama administration had established the policy, but now the Trump administration says it's simply not needed. If that seems wrong to you, you're not alone. The Supreme Court said as much way back in 1996, when they ruled that the government has an obligation to specifically call out groups protected from discrimination. The Trump administration's message to LGBT seniors is now, you're on your own, don't expect any help from us. The U.S. Supreme Court announced this week that they'll hear oral argument about making wedding cakes for same-sex couples on December 5th. The case is about much more than cakes. It could determine whether it's legal for businesses around the country to refuse service to customers based on their sexual orientation. Federal law already makes separate but equal treatment illegal for things like race or gender, but this is the first time the court will weigh in on sexual orientation. Meanwhile, this week, Donald Trump became the first sitting president to address the Value Voters Summit, a conference organized by the Family Research Council, which has said that homosexual conduct is harmful to the persons who engage in it and to society at large. Value Voters speakers have called gay people child molesters, called homosexuality a crime against nature, and called for gay people to be rounded up and jailed. And now, the President of the United States will deliver a speech alongside them. Around the world, various countries are stepping up their attacks on queer people. In Egypt, over 50 people have been arrested in the last week on suspicion of homosexuality. Once in custody, they face beatings, torture, and years in jail if convicted. And authorities arrested dozens of people during a raid on a gathering this week in Indonesia. As usual, the Trump administration has remained silent on the human rights abuses, even as Donald Trump takes the stage with hate group leaders who have pushed for criminalization of homosexuality right here in the U.S. The Southern Poverty Law Center is keeping a close eye on the Value Voters Summit. For this week's action item, head over to splcenter.org. They've highlighted some of the worst statements from Value Voter speakers, and they have a 4-point guide to actions that you can take to expose the Value Voters' true values: bigotry, cruelty, and hate. And as always, keep sharing these weekly videos. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and @MattBaum on Twitter, and I'll debrief you next week.